Welcome back to BAS 121. We're on Chapter 10. We're going through a couple of examples. 10.1, and they talk about predicting oil prices. So I thought I'd give you the 30 or 40-year trend in oil prices. And they talk about in the early 70s, oil prices being relatively low. And then the Arab countries got together and put an embargo. Prices shot way up. These are adjusted for inflation. They stayed at this high level, then they shot way up again when the hostages were taken, and Iran canceled the U.S. contracts, and Saudi Arabia raised their price. Then slowly they trended back down, and then we had a big drop when the hostages were released. Few blips, and then it's increased steadily since then. Now, the purpose of this is to say the whole qualitative and judgmental forecasting. A lot of this is as much art as it is science. You can't simply go by a regression trend line all the time. You've got to look at what's going on in different situations to make a judgmental forecast that takes into account as best we can some of these events. Now, obviously, there's lots of unknowns which come into play also. Now, example number 10.2 talks about economic indicators. So there's a whole field in analytics called Econometrics where you take all of these indicators and can you help forecast real GDP growth, or what's going to happen in the economy, or what's the economic growth rate. And they have leading indicators and they have lagging indicators, and there's a whole board that publishes these each month. In fact, I'll show you the current publication in a moment. But these are also, now this also comes into a little bit about data visualization, which we learned in BAS 120. This is called a dashboard here, where they give us some national indicators on unemployment, some state indicators, some employment rates, and generally in a dashboards tend to be useful because they convey information, a lot of information very quickly. And if you have any familiarity with economics, you know there's lots of information. So what most people are interested in is they're interested in what's the current number and what's that trend. Is it going up? Is it going down? How does it change from a year ago or a month ago? Arrows tend to be very useful. The red and green, the green for good, the red for not so good. So you can quickly visualize what's going up, what's going down. Some folks even put the titles in a red or green format so I could quickly look at these and see, what's going on very quickly. But that's the indicators. Example 10.3 talks about the formation of the leading economic indicators. Now what they do is they consolidate all these indicators into one number called the leading economic indicator. And people seem to like indexes because a lot of folks and executives don't have times to go through every single, let's go through the new orders for durable goods numbers. Let's go through the building. Now, some folks will want to do that, but a lot of folks, can you give me one overall indicator? So these are the U.S. economic indicators and how much weight is given to each one. And what happens, now here's the release that from the conference board. Conference board puts out lots of economics information. The most famous one is the leading economic indicators. But here's a release from July 18th, 2013. You can see the U.S. Leading economic index was unchanged, remaining at 95.3. So it's indexed to the year 2004, which is 100. So it's a little worse than where we were in 2004. But most people are interested in whether it's going up or going down. Now, it's been flat the last month, but it was a 0.02% increase in May, as you can read, and a decrease from April, and then a couple comments from different people. So here are the leading indicators and the trends, but this is how people use some of this information along with judgmental and quantitative to perform indexes so that they can use these to do some forecasting. So those are the first three examples in Chapter 10. Any questions, let me know.